Hey guys, welcome back to the show. It's Danny Elliott here with another episode of The Realist Take. Please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button, and I appreciate you being here. And I want to get into this article because I just love these lists. You know, these great business leaders, these tech entrepreneurs, these risk takers. They're so just, high value and progressive and just, the people you really got to watch, the movers and the shakers, the people who are really where all the action is and they're getting things done and they're moving up the career ladder. They're just like, people you got to be like if you want to be successful in corporate America today. But a surprising number of people in the Forbes 30 under 30 list they've wound up in federal prison as criminals. Can you believe it? Now, you guys might have not seen the story. I didn't see the story either. I just heard somebody talking about it on YouTube. But a number of high profile entrepreneurs and business leaders have been shipped off to prison after being named to the Forbes 30 under 30 list. It's really interesting, isn't it? I mean, it's almost like, they get on the list not for being ethical and responsible and, skilled business leaders, but, they kind of fit a stereotype. Maybe they're the right gender. Maybe they're the right skin color. Who knows, guys? But, let's just start off with Caroline Ellison. Caroline Ellison, the former co-CEO of Alameda Research, pleaded guilty to 7 criminal charges carrying a maximum sentence of 110 years in prison. Holy cow. The guilty plea arrived exactly 1 year after Ellison was named to the Forbes annual 30 under 30 list. It's just amazing. Ellison was charged alongside Zhijiao Wang, the former chief technology officer of FTX Trading Limited, for their roles in defrauding investors in the crypto trading platform. We all remember FTX, right? The chief campaign contributor of the Democrats who all won in 2020, right? Because we had to boost up their campaigns along with Zuckerberg, kind of throttling down all of their opponents. That same month, Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX founder, was arrested and extradited from the Bahamas to the United States on charges that included wire fraud, securities fraud, and money laundering. You can't have political campaigns for Congress without money laundering, guys. It's just the way it goes. It's always been like that. We don't have wheelbarrows full of cash. Now we just have, crypto trading and, criminal fraudsters on the board of these tech companies. Like Ellison, Sam Bankman-Fried was named to the Forbes 30 under 30 list, where he described himself as an effective altruist. Anytime somebody is describing themselves as something wonderful, something progressive, something altruistic, even somebody highly religious, someone who says that they bring the high Christian values into their business, I'm always highly suspicious of these people. Okay, I'm a Catholic. I don't think you should care what my religion is if you want to do business with me. I think you should know that I'm a skilled business person. I think you should know that I know what I'm talking about. I'm an expert in that business. But I don't think what I say about myself or how wonderful I say I am should have anything to do with whether you select me as the right vendor in your business endeavors, in your daily life, in deciding whether to do business with me. You should want to know that I have experience, that I've been successful in the past, and you should make your decision on your own. But you shouldn't go based on one of these lists. Just like you shouldn't go, based on any list. If you go look at a real estate listing on Zillow and you see like a list of agents in the right sidebar, you shouldn't pick the number one agent on that list just because it says hire an expert agent and like you see them in the list and you click on them. Like that's not how you select the best person for the job. Just like the way you don't select the best person for the job is based on the way they were born, i.e. their skin color or their gender, right? You shouldn't select someone based on, well, they're the first, brown, transgender, athletic, whatever person to do this thing. Like, you should select them based on they are the most qualified for that role. I mean, this is not difficult. Bankman Fried was also on the cover of the Forbes 400 issue that same year. So, again, another publication with hundreds of criminals, which is issued annually. Other notable names to make the annual list only to end up with criminal charges include Pharma Bro Martin Shkreli, and he made the list and became infamous 3 years later for upping the price of a single pill of prescription medication, Daraprim, from $13.50 to $750. Like, is it any wonder that prescription medications and medical treatment and just healthcare in general in this country is more expensive than anywhere else on the face of the earth and lower quality than many other emerging countries? Really, guys? I mean, is it any wonder? And, you hear Joe Biden always talking about lowering the prices of prescription drugs. It never really happens, guys. You go and you get the prescription and it just keeps going up. Just like when you go to the grocery store, it keeps going up. And there really seems to be no end in sight. And I mean, I don't know where we're headed with this, but anyways, back to the article. Tech CEO Charlie Javis was named to the list for her great work on Frank, a financial aid startup for students. And on the back of its success, including reportedly serving 5 million students, Frank was acquired by JP Morgan Chase for $175 million. Earlier this month, Javis was charged by the U.S. Department of Justice for falsely and dramatically inflating the number of customers of the company Frank in order to fraudulently induce JP Morgan Chase. So, good on her. She got Jamie Dimon to buy into this scam, and she lied directly to JPMC and fabricated data to support those lies, quote, all in order to make over $45 million in profits from the sale of her company on the exit, U.S. Attorney Damian Williams said in a statement. So, more scam artists. And Chris Backey, a tech entrepreneur, founder of job search platform Lasky, he said, quote, the Forbes 30 under 30 have collectively raised $5.3 billion in funding. The Forbes 30 under 30 have also been arrested for frauds and scams worth over $18.5 billion. An incredible track record. And that's from his post on X. It's just, I'm telling you, anytime you see these lists, anytime you see people like this who are just celebrating themselves for their altruism, saying how community oriented and, just community minded people they are, you want to give them a wide berth. You want to really watch out because, you just want to be out of the way when the net gets thrown over them and they're dragged into prison. But I got a final quote from you here from the great newspaper, The Guardian, and their columnist, Arwa Madawi. And they said, I don't know if it's a guy or a girl. Sorry, Arwa. Quote, the vision of success that we've been sold and the fetishizing of youth, the pressure can lead certain ambitious people to take shortcuts. So in other words, guys, if you see somebody like this on this list and you do business with them and they defraud you, they're the victim and you're the bad guy, because they can't be held liable for any of this because, they were just duped and they're just ambitious people and, they're victims because they were fetishized in their youth and they were put on a list, the 30 under 30 or the business successes of your local business newspaper or journal, right? So it's really not their fault. So there's never any accountability. There's never any apology for this type of behavior, these criminals who go to prison after being, celebrated as great successes by the media in our country. And, they funnel money to their preferred political candidates. It's all about lobbying. It's all about corruption. And, that's just kind of the way things work in Washington and the way our real economy in the United States works today. We hold the wrong people up on a pedestal and we celebrate them. And the people who actually work hard and don't get ahead based on the color of their skin or their gender are kind of, kind of swept aside, and they're not really welcomed. They don't get called for the interview. HR doesn't want them, and the job always goes to someone who's totally unqualified, but has more years of school in the government schools and the government universities, but they're not really educated or intelligent people. They just look a certain way, or they were born a certain way. But that's why we're where we are right now here in America. And that's the way it is. And I really don't think there's a political solution to it. All we can do is do the best we can and, try to buy property, try to control assets, and hopefully we can survive in whatever type of nonsense is about to unfold in the next few years. So, go out there and do the best you can. And I thought you'd be entertained by this, as I was, because, it's always good to see these people called out, after they've taken their victory lap for being so great at what they haven't accomplished. So I'm glad you watched the video today. Thank you for joining me in this episode. And please subscribe for more. Hit the like button. And if you have an experience that's similar to this, if you're in a market in the United States where you get the Business Journal and these people always are, they got their picture in the paper and you hear about how wonderful they are, or they're the first this type of person or that type of person to hold a certain position, but they really didn't deserve the job. They didn't earn it, DEI. Leave a comment below and let me know. And if you want to see more videos of this type, leave a comment below about that too. But appreciate you joining me. I'm Danny Elliott.